Hello, and welcome to today's family program. I'm Dr. Kitcher, and it's always a joy to come to you. Today is another beautiful day, and I just want to welcome all of you to this platform, and especially those who are here for the first time. We are glad to have you here. Well, before we set into what we have for the day, I would like you to spend a minute to invite your friend, to invite another friend, so that you can all join and watch together. Also, in course of the program, if you have any questions, you can, ask those questions, and you can also send us, email or contact us, and we would gladly answer any questions that you have. We have been looking at issues that concerns life and helps us to build, powerful, relevant relationships. Today, I'm going to start talking on things that we must know, we must be, we must do, we must live out, and we must pass on. Things that we must know, and not only to know it, but to be that thing. Not only to be that thing, but to do it also, and to live it out, and eventually pass it on. Why are we looking at these very basic things, but mostly overlooked? And sometimes we don't see the importance of possessing these qualities or building these values in our lives. Life is relational. What you do affects another person. What other people do affects you. Depending on how you have constructed yourself, how you have built yourself against things that are inevitable and would come you up in life, you would not be able to sometimes stand the storms when they come. So our aim is to equip you so that when those times come, you will be ready, and also you will be a positive influence on your immediate surrounding and even wider. It is very, very important that we possess these things that I am going to talk about. The first is transparency. Transparency. As a human being, you must be a transparent person. Transparent means you don't have, hidden stuff that something is covering. When you look into a glass, when you look into the glass, you can see what is inside the glass because it is transparent. There are translucent glasses, and it is difficult to find out what is in that glass. Our life must be that life that is transparent. People should not second guess you. Show who you are, give what you have, and, let people know. When somebody knows this is all he can get, he does not expect more. If somebody knows this is how much he can, receive, or how far he can go, he will not, require for more. Transparency is a great currency that can bring you longevity in your relationships and bring many people into trust and enrich, fellowship with you. So if there is anything at all that you want to be a transparent person. Know about how to be transparent and be that person. Pass the same values of transparency on to others, because it is absolutely important that we are transparent. Don't think in your head one thing and say another thing. Make sure that you are like an open book. This makes you vulnerable, but it will also help you to build your life in a way that if what you give is what is there, nobody would come and find something else. You wouldn't say I am A and then you end up being D or F. So it's very important that we have the courage and the faith to live out a life of transparency. The second thing that I would like to talk about is the whole issue of flexibility, because many people are so rigid. They have built, walls, they have some boxes that they keep things in, and you cannot go beyond the, volume of the box, and so on and so forth. But we have to be flexible in life. When you are not flexible, you will become rigid. And when you are rigid, anything little can break you. It is very important that we put in some elasticity, some flexibility in our lives. You don't have to be like a machine. that you push a knob and that's the only response that you would get. But as a human, you have feelings, you can think things through, and you can weigh options. So you may say, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to do this and that and that and that. But something happens, and you would see that priority requires that you shelve what you have planned to do, then you see to the immediate need and go back and fulfill what you have to do. If we are not that flexible, we may end up being like people who live under a law that you must do this. Without that, you can't do anything. Life must be about flexibility. That is why we always have option A, option B, C, and D. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing, but you should always make room for a little bit of elasticity or maybe a bit of squeezing. Why? Because flexibility will take you further, and it can even land you into your next level. Stretch a little bit more, give a little bit more, spend time with people a little bit more, and always make sure that you are available. The third thing that you must know, be, pass on, and live out is the issue of generosity. You must be generous. Yes, there is a saying that you ask and you receive, that you seek and you would find, and that you knock and doors will be open. But there are times that we have to act out of also the fact that I see a need and I don't wait to be called upon. I offer myself. I will be generous with my time. I'll be generous with my finances. I'll be generous with my relationship. I'll be generous with the things that I possess. That if somebody needs something that I can easily give out without any stress, any problem, yes, I will do. I'm not talking about being generous foolishly by, just spending everything, giving everything out, and you at the end of the day will have to look for no. I'm talking about when you are able to, do not hesitate. Many people are not generous. They have a very stiff, life, and therefore they cannot stretch out. When you are stingy, you cannot get, fruits. When you are stingy, you cannot, open your arms. To give, you must open your arms to give. To receive, you take it in. Many people, after they receive, they keep their fist and they don't want to let anything go. But it is always good to give. It is always good to share. So share your time, share your talents, share your skills. Let somebody know what you know. Mentor someone in the things that, you do. If you have stuff that, you don't use, why don't you look for those who would need it at the time? It is always important to make sure our lives are blessing other people. Be generous. Be generous. Being stingy does not pay anything. I have never known any stingy person who have made any great headway in life. Number 4 is caring. Caring. We have to care for one another. Caring is sharing, as a good saying goes. But to care for someone is to put yourself in the person's position and find out what would be happier. What will make you feel cared for or attended to, and you do it for the person. To be caring, once again, is like being generous. You don't need to be called upon to care. You must show that attitude of care. It's very important that those who are in the care industry, for instance, they are trained to know the symptoms and things to do for people who are not able, to do stuff for themselves. But when it comes to the general terms of caring, we have to extend a hand, of gratitude, a hand of love, a hand of reciprocity, a hand of, just being there for a neighbor. It is very, very important that we show we care. Sometimes we see stuff happening, and because our names are not written on it, we say, it's not part of my business. I don't care, about those things. But caring is very important. So please remember that in life, we need to care for one another. We need to be ready to, think through things that are going on with other people and see how much we can help. Not being nosy, not, imposting our values or our likes on them. But you can say like, hey, neighbor, I realize that this and that is sort of maybe you're struggling in that area. Is there any way I can help you? That shows you care. For all you know, he'll say, well, thank you, help is coming, then you are fine. But it's always good to offer, to care. Let us be caring. I was once in town and I saw a lady with a baby pushing her in the pushchair, and the baby had the beep in the mouth, and it fell. So I called her attention. Excuse me, ma'am. And she didn't sort of bother. So I went ahead, I picked the stuff from the ground, and then I gave it to her. Oh, sorry. I said, thank you. She said, thank you so much for this. I said, yeah, I realized your baby dropped, it and I'm giving it back to you. So caring is very important. As mean as she sounded or as she responded, I took the next step. I could have said it's none of my business. Right now things happen, and what people do, their response is take your phone, take a selfie, post it, and be the first person to share it online that something is happening here, something funny, something, whatever. But we have to make sure our first point of call will be to show care. There are many more that we can talk about. And in the next week, we will take a few more. But I believe these things, if you possess them, if you do them, if you live them out, if you know them and you pass them on, you will have a beautiful, joyful, and fulfilling life. I'm Dr. Albert Kitcher, and this is your favorite program, Today's Family. We are here to help you in any area that you need help. As far as our capability can take care of it. So don't hesitate to send us your questions, your suggestions. If there is something we do here that you like, let us know. And if there's something more that you want to hear, please let us know, because most of the times we are answering questions of people, and that is how we get all the series that we do. So please get in touch and invite a friend, subscribe to this channel, and please make sure that what you learn here, you practice it, and let's know how it's working for you. Till I see you again next week, I wish you and your family the very best. Have a wonderful week. Till next Tuesday. Bye-bye.